Greetings, gnomes and nomads, and welcome back to Castlegoat. As you can see, we're having a little bit of a remodeling of the barracks area. We've already done this area. As you can see, I got tired of our soldiers not having at least equivalent rooms to our cooks. So I've gone ahead and I've built... I'm starting to get these rooms set up. In fact, that one's ready. Fantastic. But I went ahead and I gave Adsto, Lizzie, and Sir Prancy larger rooms. Now, there are only 3 in this squad, and I'm going to be leaving it at that for now, but we do have these 2 extra spare bedrooms there as well. The value of the rooms, Ashto's is 3,300, and Lizzie's and Sir Prancy are both around the 7,800 mark. But Ashto has a nice little balcony, as is fitting of the commander, whereas Lizzie and Sir Prancy have lost their balconies, but have gained a lot more room, so they now have cabinets and dressers, and I'm going to be doing that for Troll of Reason, Elson Dwarf, as well as Undead Llama, but that's going to take me a little bit of time. In fact, what I'm going to be doing is they're going to have balconies up here. In this case, the commander is not going to be having the balcony, because the balcony would be right above this one. I don't think that would look as good, honestly, but I suppose I could. I mean, he is the commander at the end of the day. It feels wrong not to give him a balcony. I mean, come on. Yeah, let's go ahead with that. I've convinced myself that this is the correct and proper thing to do. Right, now what we're going to be doing here is we need to replace some of these floors with... Oops, let me get that again. Replace floor, not remove floor. And we are going to want basalt blocks. Yeah, we'll have all basalt blocks along the side because they're going to have a balcony. So they really don't need a... extra window space. We'll just have a walkway out onto the balcony over here. We're going to want to build a floor as well, a basalt block floor. I'm just going to show you on this one room what I'm going to be setting up, and then I'll do the other one off camera. We'll also need to replace the floors inside with just regular, where are you, engraved basalt blocks. There we are. As you can see, we are running a bit low on basalt as a result. But what I'll probably do, in fact I can do it right now, we'll go to furniture and we want one of these lovely marble pillars right by there. And another one on this side as well. That will push this room out to a 3x3 with a little balcony as well, and then we can have a little roof on top. In fact, the roof will go all around on this one. It'll be a corner roof section. Over here, I'll set up a balcony of sorts around there. I'm fairly certain that won't mess up the tiled roof down below, but it's possibly not necessary to have that tiled roof without there. But well, we'll see how it looks, and if it looks bad, I'll revert it. But I am very happy to see these guys with proper rooms now. That's made me feel a lot better. But we have this room over here now. We've got Trichrono, Evelyn, Deathbot, and Leo the Jester. Now, who's currently working in here? We have got Leo the Jester, Evelyn, Deathbot. Who are you? That's Metasapia, our doctor. You're not meant to be working there. Who is our bonesmith? Let's check you out. You know, actually, let's have a look at some of our butchers, I suppose. Deathbot and Evelyn are both taken care of. Boothsmith, Trichrono, and Leo the Jester. Okay. How about our flesh smiths? Sanans and Arch XL. I think Arch XL. Let's have a look. What are your skills like? Your skills... Yeah, you do seem to have the better skill, honestly. Yeah, we'll go with Arch XL. Shall be moved into a nice new room. Let's get that all set up for you, Arch XL. Personal courses. Then we'll actually find out how much it's worth as well. Right, Arch XL. Assuming that you don't already have a room. No, you don't. There you go, 494. I'm sure you'll be very pleased with this. Now you don't have to walk for miles and sleep in a communal dormitory after your hard day of carving bones and carving up living, well, no, dead, corpses. Dead corpses. Redundant much? Alright, let's get all of that sorted out as well, cleaned up. Now, back to what I was saying about our groups of people. But actually, before then, I recall that I failed to point out the amazing boot that Flying Stapler's made. Is it you who had the amazing boot? No, I don't think it was. How about you? No, no, it must have been Sir Prancy then. Let's find Sir Prancy. Where are you? Sir Prancy, are you where? Yes, there we are. The insufferable hammer of the execution. That is the legendary boot that Flying Staple has made. It is worth 1,073. What's your other boot worth? 300. So you can see the comparison there. It is over 3 times as valuable as a normal steel boot. Well done, Flying Staplers. That was just made legendary. That's absolutely fantastic. That's what we want to see with our steel items. We want legendary steel items. Well done. All of that having to make boots, bronze boots on repeat, clearly has paid off. But now, what I was going to talk about with regards to our military is that although I've got room for 5 people, I think I'm going to keep it at 3 people in each squad, at least for now, until much later when we've got a much larger population and I can actually afford to start filling the squads out. And the reason for that is twofold. Firstly, you want it to be larger than 2, because if there are only 2 people in a squad, when someone's sleeping, the other person can't train because you need 2 partners to train. But if you've got 5 people in a squad, still there's only going to be 2 people training at any one time. So there are 3 people idle, whereas if there are only 3, there's only 1 person idle. And from what I get the impression of from reading the forums, by having only 3 people, there's going to be a much quicker turnaround of who's actually getting time on the training floor, as one person will go off and get something to eat so that they'll take up the point and start training differently and so on and so forth. As you see there, they've just swapped over. Ajsto is now watching instead. If this was Dwarf Fortress, Ajsto would probably be getting some sort of experience from watching this, or might even be leading the combat drill, but alas, it is not. Now, the other thing is that by having smaller groups but more of them, because ultimately, I would like to have the same sort of amount, like 10 people working, but I'd have them in 4 different squads. But that gives me tactical flexibility. For example, just throw something out there now, if I had 2 groups of defender, shield bearers, then what I could do is I could have 1 shield bearer group on reserve at all times. They wouldn't actually engage in a fight. If it was a particularly large battle, I'd just send 1 of them in. That group would immediately taunt upon entering the combat and get everyone's attention. Then I'd send in my DPS squads and my militia and they would all start to fight. Until one of my defenders lost a part of their equipment. Something broke. As a result, it's not optimal now. And as we've seen, they don't tend to re-taunt. They only seem to taunt when they engage. So at that point, I could send in my secondary defender squad, and when they enter the battle, they would immediately taunt, and all of a sudden, all attention would be on them. Now, that serves 2 purposes. One, it takes attention off the person who's got their armor broken, so they can run off and replace it. And 2, it means I can pull the entire squad out, because they're no longer directly engaged. They're basically flanking at the moment, so they are free to enter or exit combat at will. So I could just pull them back into the holding position, give them time to recover, give them time to re-equip, and then should my secondary squad's armor get broken, then I can move them in. You couldn't do that if you just had 1 large squad of 5 people, because as we've seen, again, all 5 of them would taunt upon entering the combat, and then the last one effectively to have taunted would be the one that would be tanking all of the damage for that entire battle, and that doesn't change then. I think that would be especially useful for our shield bearer squads, to have smaller but more squads. For damage, probably not as important, because they can just wade in, and ideally they shouldn't be troubled throughout the whole fight. They should just be there wailing on the enemy. But again, it offers me tactical flexibility. Perhaps I'll want 2 different battles to be happening. Heaven forbid, but maybe one day there will be a Mants squad and a Goblin squad attacking me at the same time. And if I'm not lucky enough to get them to fight amongst themselves, then I might have 2 fights going on simultaneously. So having 2 smaller squads that can deal with each group independently would actually be to the benefit of Castlegoat. So that's my plan with that. Let's speed up time a little bit there. Now, let's just have a quick look up here. How's that gone? Oh, they've already done it. Well done, Gnomes. Oh, they're building that one still, but let's go ahead and... Where is build wall? Let's build this block wall out. Oh, I'm going to need to bring it all the way up there, aren't I? Aha, yes I am. Very well. Let's get that sorted. And basalt, still very precious resource that I've got very little of, alas. Now, I've also gone ahead, and I believe I've taken these down. yes, you can tell if it's been built or not. Someone in the comments did give me that tip. If you just look for a quality modifier, because a placed piece of furniture doesn't have the quality modifier. I'm not really sure why. It seems a little bit silly that that would be taken out, because it would still be useful. But I should have some serpentine pillars. Yes, I do. And I can place them there and there. I think the windows look a little better with the serpentine rather than the marble. Now, do we have anyone to trade with? Yes, we do. What have you got to trade? You've got an enormous amount of cotton. Let's expand this out. I'm surprised that that hasn't been remembered across the last version. Right, let's have a quick gander. How much cotton have I got? I've got loads of cotton. But, wow. It's so cheap, it's almost silly not to take it. How about grape and wine and all of that sort of stuff? Got loads of grape seeds. Where are the actual grapes? Do we actually have any grapes? I'm wondering if we do. Perhaps we do not. In which case, we'll take all of these as well. I don't think we really need wheat grain, but we'll take it. Now, I'm not going to take the finished products because I would actually... We've got enough gnomes who can make that for us. So I'm going to let them train up on these things rather than just supply the finished products themselves. Now, that comes only to 239. There is no point in not accepting these things. They are so cheap. And here we are at the statuettes. I should be able to buy pretty much all of this with the statuettes that I've got. Oh, I've already gone well past that. Let's cut back on some of these. Let's see. Have I got poor bear statuettes? We'll get rid of those. Fine yak statuettes. Oh, wow. That's a little bit more than I want to give you. Oh, you know what? You can have that. I've been gypping you people for long enough. It's time that I actually start coughing up some goods to encourage you to keep coming back here. There you go. You can have some gnome bucks worth of profit there. Right, on that note, I'm going to pause the recording and let some time pass. We're going to continue work on things. And as you can see, I have got the tiling going on in here. But it's taking a little bit of time because obviously... all of our bricks are being used up in numerous different projects, but we are getting there. But I shall pause the recording here, and when you return, hopefully, I will have most of this tiled, and we can actually start moving in our workshops. So see you then. And welcome back to Castlegoat at the beginning of a fight with the Mants. Now, I haven't brought you back for many of these Mant fights, but I have in this occasion. Is there another Mant over there? No, it's just a rock underneath the apple tree. Because there are 13 Mants. This is by far the largest group we've seen. I think the only one I've seen larger than 10 was 11, and that was only once. And I only noticed it really after the fight. But this is 13 Mants. That is a lot of firepower. Where's Sir Prancy? Is he coming down? Or is it Lizzie? Lizzie's on her way down. Okay. Right, well, Sir Prancy, who has the legendary boot, that's kind of good. He's the most well-equipped of our steel-clad defenders, is already at the You Shall Not Pass guard station, but they seem to be able to see through doors. I wish they couldn't do that, honestly, but oh well, they can. Now, the trap system, I may not have covered this. I moved the trap system up there so I could continue work on this area without having the trap system right in the middle of it. So it's just basically a long corridor now with spikes behind doors typically, and then blade traps before spikes or after spikes. Sorry, the blade traps are in front of the doors. Generally, I don't have that many spike traps, but they do seem to be doing okay at splitting the groups up. But yes, we have a lot of Mants here. This, I would not be surprised if some armor gets broken. So let's see how well the Poisonous Ancients handle this. Let's get them straight into the fight. Let's actually designate the Poisonous Ancients to get up there and take these guys on. The Blackened ones shall be waiting in reserve until the Poisonous Ancients have all of the attention. Now, these guys are going to be hobbling along, and that means they're going to be a little bit more difficult to plan around. What are you like? Injured left arm and mandibles. Well, I'm just going to have to accept. Let these guys get... Oh, no, there they are. They're coming. Lizzie, get up here. I need you to taunt these guys. Now, Lizzie has probably taunted a bunch of them. That man seems happy in the trap network. So that's fine. I'm not going to force them to get down here. So let's get the Blackened ones in. And once the Blackened ones have engaged, I'm going to move the militia in. Get in there, guys. Now. There we go. Wow, you are slow. Troll of Reason, why are you so slow? Have you just eaten an enormous meal? I can only assume that you have. Wow. My god, Troll of Reason, you have been sniping all of the legendary loot. My goodness. Let's check out what you guys have actually got equipped. Okay, Undead Llamas, Bronze Hammer, Bronze Hand Axe, quite a lot of two-headed ogre leather. My goodness, you are actually effectively equipped in steel there. And where is Elzendorf? Let me find Elzendorf. Show yourself, Elzendorf. Oh, there we are. The Curse Hawk, legendary bronze shield, and the bronze hand axe. I should actually switch you to having 2 weapons, really. Yeah, I'm going to be focusing on that. I need to get you 2 hammers. Troll of Reason, though, is equipped with the Leader of Smoke, a legendary bronze shield, and the Hand Axe of Spoons, a legendary bronze hand axe. Well done. And a lot of two-headed ogre stuff. Very, very nice indeed. Check out this. Their shield is 76 and 70. At this point, they're more effective at beating things to death with their shield than they would be if I gave them a hammer, but at the same time, I think giving them a hammer and an axe is going to be the wiser thing to do. If I ever need them to go back to using shields for some reason, at least I'll know they'll have very good skills with that. But yeah, we'll just focus on this for now. Right, everyone get in there. There we go. Now the whole militia can get involved. Attack! Everyone, all squads, now, now, now. No, no, not that way. The Mants are over here. Where are you going? You cowards! Get back! This is the problem with having an awesome Great Hall that No! I've got too much to live for. I want to stay here. I want to have a look at this Great Hall one last time before it might be my end. I can't blame them, I suppose. But it looks like only a small group of our gnomes are actually doing any work down there whatsoever. Wow, really? Really? You people, Dapper Majesta, I expected more of you. My goodness, you are terrible people, leaving your kingdom mates to face this foe alone. I can't say I approve. Let's queue up everyone. I mean, I guess another thing that could be happening is that the Mants are dying too quickly. The one Mant that I've told everyone to attack died shortly after, and everyone was like, oh, well, no more work. Let's go back. That is a possibility. Let's see if giving the attack order to lots of things. That may have been it. Okay. Okay, I accept. I accept that it was my fault, not yours. Is that person's blood or Mant blood? Mant head. Someone decapitated a Mant. Well done. Right, everyone pile in. It looks like we have won this battle. Right, Poisonous Ancients, I need you to go out and just clear this man from outside, because I know everyone's going to be rushing out there to reset those things. So if you could get out there now and deal with them, that would be great. I only really need the Poisonous Ancients. Well, I'll send the blackened ones as well, I guess. But let's go ahead and also set up these doors to be rebuilt. Well, I'm not sure really how I feel about that battle. On one hand, excellent. We dealt with a very large Mant force, more or less as easily as we deal with any Mant force. But at the same time, it's like, am I at risk of becoming complacent as a result of these wins? I think I am. There's going to come a time where I'm like, it's only a Mant force of 50. We'll easily deal with that. And then it'll just be one Mant too many. And Lizzie's armor will break. She won't be able to bail out of the combat. And all of a sudden, Lizzie will be dead. And then Sir Prancy will just go into mourning immediately. And everything will just fall. Oh no, what's happening there? Are you bleeding? Undead Llama, have you lost any body parts? It's blind and has fallen over. I knew I shouldn't have sent you guys in there first. Quickly, go fix your eye. Have you fixed your eye now? I don't even know. Bandages, man. Why our hospitals have not realized the amazing healing properties of bandages. I mean, I know they use them, but they don't use them like the gnomes use them. The gnomes can repair like blinded eyes and stuff just by applying a bandage directly to the eye. It's fantastic. Mind you, dwarves apply bandages directly to the liver, so I don't know. I feel us humans have missed a trick here with medical science. Somewhere along the line, we just didn't properly explore the applications of bandages. Let's get this bell rung so you can all get back to your jobs. Right, now, in here, I've already tiled the area, but we've got quite a lot that I need to do before I can really start work on that, and we're still waiting on a lot of stuff up there, but we are starting to make progress. Now, I'm going to have torches on this side. Actually, they've already finished retiling the floor. Let me go ahead and build those walls. We want... Actually, we'll just have a regular engraved wall up here. There and there. I'll have 2 torches there. But down here, I'm not going to have any torches. I'm going to have windows instead. And I think... I kind of like the idea of the forge being a little bit darker without torches because they're not going to need them. It's a forge. There's going to be this sort of reddish glow from the embers of the forges, or perhaps even not the embers, the scalding hot coals of the forges if they're actively being used. They don't need torches. Torches would only diminish the ambiance of the room. Yes, they're going to work by the forge light, as all good smiths should. Mind you, they may go blind long before their time, but, well, that is the price of being a smith. You want an awesome job, you must pay the price. Right, let's also get the floor out here. I need planks. Birch planks. There we go. And about that wide, I think. I also need to replace the floor. We are going to need block floor. We are using our basalt so actively at the moment that I can't really continue work on the gatehouse right now. But I am continually developing ideas on how I'm going to be working with that, so that when we actually do come to working on the gatehouse, it should be fairly easy to get it set up. Right now, my primary idea for the way we're going to be setting this is we'll have 2 stairs coming down here, and the trap system will occupy this space up there and will be accessed through here. In fact, there'll be a long walkway of traps. Now, I guess part of my reason for that is perhaps it'll kill all the raiders on their way down here. In which case, I would actually like to see what happens to the ogres. Would they just bail then once the raiders are gone? Or would they continue down the trap path to their destination? It's a bit of a question there. If they've seen the archers on top, they'll probably continue on to the inevitable death, really. But it'll give them a chance to bail out. If the raiders all die before the goblins have spotted our archers up on the top of this tower, then perhaps the ogres and the actual fighters will leave. And that is all I can do for them, really. That's as good as I can make it in terms of fairness. You know, they'll have a chance of survival, at least. Once they actually enter the trap system, though, unfortunately, based on the way that the mechanics work in pathfinding, I have discovered that I am actually going to probably have to just dump them into a hole and then have our archers come down and deal with them one by one. As much as I wanted to set it up so that they would come out through a tunnel and then walk back and go through the system, and the opportunity for things to go wrong for me, or just for our archers to fight them in a slightly more sporting environment. Unfortunately, it appears that once they've fallen down from here, they will forget their pathing. So the raiders will no longer be trying to get into the middle of my base. The ogres with the raiders will just mill about, and what may happen then is they'll simply leave. They'll just walk out. Now, thinking about it, actually, one of the things I could do is have the only exit from this place just be a short path that comes out somewhere where they are going to see the archers, in which case they'll reacquire a path. That would actually be better, because I really don't like the idea of just dumping them into a pit and then sending my archers down there now and then to have target practice. That, even though this isn't much better than that, that does seem really rather nasty. Plus, I suppose if the raiders manage to survive this ordeal of going around the pit, round and round and round, and haven't managed to be shot in a certain amount of time, eventually they will just simply decide, right, it's time for me to go, and so when they come out here, they'll just leave. They might get clipped by a bullet here or there, but there will be a chance for them to simply evacuate, in which case we will actually have tunnelers show up on the map. That might be interesting. I think I will actually go with that. That is my plans for the future. Now then, let's see. It is going to be a while whilst we continue to build up all of the blocks up here, simply because I'm using basalt so actively over here. Let's check. Oh, we've actually done quite a lot of the tiling of the floor in there. Well done. Now, these 4 are done, so I can go ahead and build the torches, which is what I wanted them for. Where are you, torch? Here we go. Pine torch. This one there, 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 and finally there. Right, that'll offer us ample light in this room, which is the storage room. It's just going to be a very, very large storage pile for slivers, for bars, for ores. Anything that can be used by the metalworking industry will be stored here. Also coal. Up here, this is just going to be for finished goods. Not specifically bars. Well, perhaps bars as well, because this is quite a lot of room. Maybe I will just have bar storage up here as well, but then also the actual finished goods. We'll have to think about that. But with regards to all of the metal being around here, I'm strongly considering the option of having our tinkers and the machine shop and engineering shop over here. Very close by, so that they haven't got far to travel to pick up the materials that they might be using. I could, of course, set up just, like, build them anyway and have haulers take certain materials over to them, like have their stockpile a higher priority. But I'm not so sure I want to do that. It might actually be nice to have them over here, because then we'll have most of our workshops in the same sort of location. Another option, of course, is to build the tinkerers up above the carpenters. And that would still be fairly close at the end of the day. I might actually consider that. That may be an interesting option to go with. But I'll have to think about it for a bit. But I think I'm going to wrap up the episode there, I'm afraid, with work continuing on Troll of Reason's soon-to-be bedroom. He was very unhappy with not being allowed to have 2, but I'm afraid it's just the way it is. I can't have you having 2 bedrooms when there are some people with no bedrooms. Whether you're in the military or not, that's just greedy. But I'm going to go ahead and continue building up the bedrooms here and also the metalworking area. And when you return, hopefully, we will actually have most of these finished. So, see you then. Ah, you're still here. No doubt you noticed I didn't say take care at the end of the video. And too wise to fall prey to such a simple deception, hung around, for you know I couldn't possibly let you go without wishing that you take care. It just wouldn't be dapper. And speaking of dapper, over on the Dapperling Steam group, Jimmy Jam Jams has begun a discussion thread regarding a community succession game of Gnomoria. A genius idea, as one might expect from a Dapperling. For those of you who aren't familiar with the concept of a succession game, though, in a nutshell, it is a game where we share the responsibility of managing the fort as a community, with each participant taking a turn to manage the fort for a specified period of time before saving it up and passing the baton along to the next in line. This sort of game does add a few new challenges, but also creates a real sense of communal achievement as everyone works together to create something greater than the sum of their individual contributions. We've gotten a couple of names together already and are presently hashing out some of the ground rules for participation, and the initial settings of the map to be generated. So, if you're interested, just head on over to the Steam group and join the discussion. You can find a link to the Steam group at the bottom of the video description or from my YouTube About page. And now, with all that said and done, I can finally wrap things up properly. So, until next we meet, do take care.